Okay, so hello and welcome to a more like news style episode. I always plan to do more news anyway, so maybe someday we'll get around to that. But the Academy Awards have announced the nominees for this year. If you're one of the few people who watched the video last year, you might know that with Academy Awards, I don't mean the Oscars, because who cares about the Oscars? We're talking about the much more important Japanese Academy Awards. At least for me, they're much more exciting, even though usually like one movie does a big sweep, or at least very often, and the others are just like, it's more like we had to choose some others. Like last year it was Godzilla that didn't really deserve it, but anyway. So the announcements are out, and it's pretty fun to see who got nominated. And I'm not sure if there's any movie that might just grab them all. There's some movies that are nominated in a lot of categories, but I think maybe this year it could be a little bit more spread out. I have seen, I guess, most of the nominees, but not all, so I'm not sure who I want to vote for. But let's see. Let's start with the best movie. They have 5 movies nominated. One is Kingdom Part 4, which I think was very good, a little bit strange because of the structure of the movie. Because, it's the end of the story arc, which doesn't really include the main protagonist, but other side characters that became important in that story. So part 2, 3, 4 is basically one story, and that gets its conclusion, and the conclusion doesn't really include the main character, which I felt like is weird, but doesn't really make the movie worse, because it does its what it's supposed to do. It's just because of it being still relatively, compared to the whole story, it's still relatively early in the beginning. The protagonist is still not that great compared to like the big generals and stuff. And it's a little bit strange. So, but still a very fun movie. I enjoyed it a lot. I think still my favorite Kingdom movie might be number 2, especially because of Kiyohiko Shibukawa, who had his great moment there. But I need to rewatch them all, because I watched only the first one with subtitles, and that's an awful long time ago. And 2, 3, and 4 I just watched in the cinema without subtitles. And with these historical movies, I sometimes struggle a bit with the language, because it's some, especially like weird military words and some more old-fashioned phrases and stuff. I think I got it mostly, but it's probably more enjoyable if I have some subtitles. But I would say maybe the second is my favorite. But Kingdom is one of the candidates here, and might as well win, but I'm not sure. Movie number 2 is the fantastic Samurai Time Slipper. So Samurai in Time, which got a lot of nominations and is still playing in cinemas now. I just saw it on the schedule the other day, and it's doing very, very well. And I would say if it gets any awards here, it totally deserves them all, because it's just such a fantastic movie. And it's playing in the UK and some other places, and I guess it will get released by Third Window Films. And it's a lot of fun, like the main character, the samurai who travels in time into modern day Kyoto and ends up as a samurai movie extra who just gets killed all the time. And it's a wonderful film. The next one has, according to Letterboxd, the English title Faceless. It's called Shotai in Japanese, by Michihito Fuji. And I still haven't seen it. I may watch it next week, because it's like the last chance to see it in cinema now in Osaka. Might play some other cinemas soon, but if I have the time, I might give it a try. I have no idea what it's about. There's a pretty long thing on Letterboxd. I'm not gonna read that now. No idea. Maybe it's good, but usually Michihito Fuji is not exactly my favorite director. He's always very much between okay and not bad. I still need to see a movie that I really like. I think so far his best might have been The Journalist, but some others that I've seen 5 so far. I've seen The Journalist, which was a solid movie, which was more carried by its relatively important topic than by actually being really good. Then I saw We Are, which was a pretty bad coming of age movie, which I remember I saw it with some people on at the Nippon Connection in Frankfurt, Germany, and we did a podcast after that, and so many people hated it so much. I was still on the slightly more positive side, but it's not a movie that I need to watch again. Then I saw A Family, which was like a Yakuza movie with Go Ayano. I think it wasn't bad, probably. I can barely remember anything. And then I watched The Brightest Roof in the Universe, which was okayish and has some of the weirdest editing ever. I remember just one scene. There's this a teenage girl who's friends with an elderly lady, I think, and there's a scene where they just say, see you soon, and go home. And somehow the next scene, she's running around looking for this lady, and she's can't be found or something like that. It was super weird. Like the editing was so strange. I couldn't really wrap my head around that scene. And another one that was like half really, really good and then completely ridiculous BS was A Hard Days. Was a remake of a Korean thriller, and I guess that was a problem. It's with Junichi Okada and Go Ayano, and I think the first half is very, very funny and very entertaining because Junichi Okada's character has a car accident. He tries to get rid of the dead body, and it's super fun. And then it turns into this really strange thriller that just keeps escalating and escalating. And it's so over the top that it's at some point just ridiculously stupid. I know some people really like the original. I have no idea if that's better. But there were a few twists too many to actually enjoy it. But the start was really good. So I don't know. I will probably give this one, The Faceless, a try. Just because of this Academy Awards, because it's nominated in 1 million categories, and it's maybe interesting. And at least I can have hope that he's not completely destroying it. As then we have All the Long Nights, very, very sweet little feel-good movie about a woman who has very big trouble with her menstruation, if I remember correctly, and a guy who has some anxiety issues, and they begin a very nice friendship and just take care of each other, and it's a super, super nice film, I think, by Sho Miyake is his name, the guy who did A Small, Slow But Steady. And then we have Last Mile, which I have no idea who did it. I just know it's some kind of a terror movie where mail packages explode or something, and it has some kind of a tie-in with a TV show, which I haven't seen either. So I have no idea. super successful. Like, it played in cinemas for months and months and months, and I always felt like, oh, I should go and watch it, and I never did it. I will watch it eventually someday, but nothing that really makes me excited, because it looks like a very generic mainstream thriller. Probably not bad, but I don't think it needs to get an Academy Award for the best movie. Next we have the best animated movie. The first one is called Give It All. There was a live action movie in the late 90s, which I haven't seen, and I haven't seen the new animated movie. I've just seen the trailer a million times in the cinema, and it's some kind of a boat club at school, and the girls are just like rowing like crazy, and I have no idea if it's good or not. I think it's very, very CGI when it comes to the animation, so yeah, I think it's more in there to have a fifth movie in there. Then we have Gundam Seed Freedom, which I saw, and I don't really get because I didn't see the show. I think it was still very entertaining and fun, because there was a lot of stuff going on and action and whatever, but I prefer the new Gundam movie because it's the start and I can understand what's going on. And then we have Haikyuu. I haven't watched that. Haikyuu is this volleyball anime, which I watched maybe the first season or so, and it's a sports anime. I like sports anime. It was a lot of fun, and I'm not sure why I stopped watching. I think at that time I just didn't watch that much anime anymore. For me, it always comes in waves, and I watch a lot of anime and then nothing, and a lot and nothing. And I guess that's just why it ended for me, and I didn't keep watching. But it's a very fun sports anime, and that's a movie that's maybe the conclusion of the story, if I remember correctly. Super successful, one of the most successful movies of the year. And that's a thing that happened. Then we have the new Conan movie, which was fine. I think the Conan movies at some point became too much action and not enough mystery, and this one as well. And I don't think any of these movies will win, because a Look Back will win if they have any taste. It needs to win, but I'm very convinced that it will. Then we have the best director. So first we have Shinsuke Sato for Kingdom. Why not? He did a good job. Then we have Ayuko Tsukahara for Last Mile. Haven't seen that. We have Michihito Fuji for Showtime or Faceless. We have Sho Miyake, All the Long Nights. Did I say Miyake before? I'm not sure, but his real name is Sho Miyake. All the Long Nights, would be well deserved. I wouldn't complain about that. And Junichi Yasuda for Samurai in Time. Yeah, I think All the Long Nights, Samurai in Time, or Kingdom, please. As the other two I haven't seen, but let's just not give it to Michihito. I'm not convinced he deserves an Academy Award. I'm very sorry, but maybe this film is his big breakthrough and actually that amazing. So there's a chance. I hope he gets better at his job. He gets a lot of big chances. Like he's always directing for Netflix now, and gets solid budgets, great cast and stuff. So I just hope he through the lot of work, like relatively big budget work he does, he hopefully gets better. Would be nice. Like the first few. There's room for improvement. Let's say it like that. Let's be optimistic. Maybe Shota is fantastic. Okay, then we have the best script. Yeah. We have Yu Irie for A Girl Called Anne, which was a very good, very depressing drama about a girl who's, I think, a drug addict, prostituted herself and got abused by her family and tries to get out of all of this, and it's super depressing, based on a real story, like movies like that are, with the fantastic Yumi Kawai. And it's not a fun movie, but a very good movie. And interestingly, the second very good movie Yuirie did recently, like today, I went to see Muromachi Burai, I think that's called in English, Muromachi Outlaws, which I liked a lot. I didn't like the look so much because it's very, very teal and orange, but besides that, it's a very, very fun movie. Maybe of the recent like samurai movies, maybe the most entertaining, but that's a story for another video. But it's a good movie. It's very nice. Then we have Satomi Oshima for a movie that's called Kyujusai Nangame Detai. In English, it's called 90 Years Old. So what? I haven't really seen that. It's about a 90-year-old writer, and she does stuff. I have no idea. I know one of my students watched it and liked it very much, but he's pretty close to that age, so he can identify maybe a lot with that. Then we have Kazuhisa Kotera and Michito Fuji for Faceless. No, why not? We have Akiko Nogi for Let's Go Karaoke, and we have Akiko Nogi for Last Mile. Seems like she wrote both, so double the chances, but I think maybe just give it to Junichi Yasuda for the Samurai in Time. Yeah, please. I mean, I wouldn't mind Karaoke-ko. Loved that a lot. And I mean, I wouldn't mind A Girl Called An, but it's so depressing. I know it's about quality, not depression, but please, why not a fun movie? Yeah, I want a fun movie. Yeah, anyway, then we have the best male actor in a leading role. We have Go Ayano in Karaoke-ko, and I think Karaoke-ko, I liked it a lot. It's about a Yakuza guy who takes singing lessons from a school kid, a high school kid. He hears him in a choir, I think, and then he picks up and like, let's go to karaoke and you teach me how to sing. And his goal is for an event that his boss wants to do. He does like a regular karaoke event. He wants to sing a song by X Japan. I think it's Kurenai. And I don't like X Japan. I know it's a very, very big, celebrated band that everybody usually loves. And I like their fast songs. So Kurenai is a pretty good one for their standards. But I think especially the drummer Yoshiki is not very sympathetic. At least he doesn't come across as very sympathetic. And when they start playing ballads, I can't handle it. I hate it so much. I don't think the singer is very good. And the coolest member passed away a long time ago. So here in this movie, I'm very happy because they play the song a lot. And you never hear the original vocals. So it makes it, for me, like 200% better, even though it's still one of their better songs. I have some songs that I really like, but I don't like the singer, especially not if he's singing ballads. So ballads for metal bands are a problematic thing. Anyway, so next main actor, we have Tsuyoshi Kusanagi in a movie that I haven't seen yet. I think it's on Amazon Prime, at least in Japan. That's Goban Kiri. In English, it's called Bushido by Kazuya Shiraishi. And that's the movie that confused me a lot because I saw the trailer for this. I completely missed this, and suddenly was the next trailer for a period piece by Shiraishi, which was 11 Rebels, and I was so confused. Anyway, it's probably good I haven't seen it yet. I heard some good things about it. So I will give it a try sooner or later. Then I think the human who should get it, Makia Yamaguchi for A Samurai in Time. He did such a great job in that movie. I loved it so much. He should get this prize, no matter how good Ryusei Yokohama in Faceless is. Maybe great, but I think here Yamaguchi should get it. And then we have Kento Yamazaki for Kingdom. Yeah, why not? But I don't think he was exceptional, especially because in this movie his character isn't even so important. So, yeah. Anyway, then we have actresses in leading roles. We have Satomi Ishihara for Missing, which I remember liked a lot. And now I realize that I don't even remember that much about the movie, which is maybe a bit problematic. I know it's a movie by Keisuke Yoshida, who is a very, very good director, and it's about a girl who goes missing. But yeah, I don't remember all that much about it, so probably very good. I should maybe watch it again. And then we have Mone Kamishiraishi for All the Long Nights. Would be very well deserved. She did a great job. Then we have Yumi Kawai for A Girl Called Anne, and I'm surprised it's not for Desert of Namibia, which I think was overall the better performance and the better movie. And yeah, I don't know why this movie isn't even mentioned anywhere in these Academy Awards. Very strange thing. Yeah. Then we have Mitsuko Kusabue for this 90-year-old So What, and Hikari Mitsushima for Last Mile. Then we have a male supporting actors. We have Seiyo Uchino for Hakenden, which I haven't seen yet. It will come on Amazon Prime at the end of the month, so I will watch it then. It looks very interesting, looks very spectacular, but I think it was very unsuccessful in the cinema because it played a very short time, and so I missed it, so no idea. But I think it's with my favorite actress, Kana Hashimoto. Please. Yeah, then we have Takao Osawa for Kingdom, and I don't know why he is in the category of the supporting role, because basically the story is about his character, and he should be in the leading role and not Mr. Yamazaki, even though he's the poster boy for the series. Very strange. We have Masaki Okada for Last Mile. We have Jido Sato for Anno Koto, and I'm not sure if I would give it to him for this movie, but he's a very entertaining, great actor, and in this movie he plays a very, very serious role, and it's very good. He's usually very good and very fun, and he does stuff with his face, which is usually very entertaining. I recently watched A Strange House, Hennaie, and he was basically the best thing about the movie, so good boy. And then here we have Takayuki Yamada for Shotai Faceless. No idea how good he is there, but he's usually pretty good if I'm correct. Yeah, of course, that's the guy. I think he's the guy with the Hawaiian shirts in Crow Zero and a lot of other Takashi Miike movies, and he's usually pretty fun. I like him. Yeah, so why not for him? But yeah, Jido Sato maybe. Then actress in a supporting role, we have Mana Ashida for Hataraku Saibo, so the cells at work, why not? We have Kaya Kiyohara for Bushido, was it? We have Tao Tsuchiya for Hakenden, and then we have Anna Yamada and Riho Yoshioka for Faceless. Why not? Then we have cinematography. Faceless, that's here Tomoyuki Kawakami. Kingdom, Akira Sako. Last Mile, Tsuyoshi Seki. Golden Kamui, and finally, Golden Kamui, Daisuke Soma. I think in general, Golden Kamui should get more nominations than Kingdom. Just in general, because I think it's a better movie. And if you give a nomination to Kento Yamazaki for Kingdom, why not for Kento Yamazaki in Golden Kamui? I don't know. I'd say Golden Kamui is maybe better movie. I like that. Why? No, but it's nice. Golden Kamui at least gets some of the more technical nominations. So why not? And then we have Junichi Yasuda for the Samurai in Time, which deserves all the prizes. Then we have the lighting. We have Koshiro Ueno for Faceless. We have Hiroyuki Kase for Kingdom. We have Kazuyuki Kawasato for Last Mile. We have Koda Sato for Golden Kamui. And we have Kinya Doi, Hiroshi Hano, and Junichi Yasuda for Samurai in Time. Then we have the best music, Takashi Omama for Faceless. We have Hiroko Sebu for Karaoke-ko. X Japan without vocals should get a prize. I'm very convinced of that. We have Masahiro Tokuda for Last Mile. And we have here Yutaka Yamada for Kingdom and Face to Fake for Cells at Work. Then we have here best. What is it? Welcome here for this little excursion, detour, whatever. I felt like I need to speak about one thing that I didn't talk about, and that's why I don't talk so much, or I didn't talk so much about the movies that I think would have deserved some awards, or so two reasons. First, I think that would just be like my best of 2024 video that will maybe follow someday. I'm still thinking about it, how to do that. And the other thing is that I don't really think that my taste is exactly that what they would do it in, or that would give an award to at an award show. Because I think award shows are a very specific thing where the industry celebrates itself, and they just put out movies they want to advertise or want to be seen, at least to a certain degree. So that already excludes a lot of independent films. I think you could have gone with Shion Matsufuji from the movie Confetti for the best leading role. I think that was a more impressive performance than some of those that were awarded. Or I don't know, I would have been happy for some award for example, Happy End or My Sunshine. I mean, My Sunshine has this newcomer award, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, so it's all much more focused on blockbuster movies. Or here, Wakamusha. Why isn't Wakamusha nominated? Yeah, because it's too small movie that people don't care. I mean, they want a general audience to watch the award show, so they can't really award movies that people have never heard about. So yeah, I sometimes see posts on the internet where people are like, oh, where are these 10 crazy action movies from India that, for example, at the Oscars? So those would have chance only for one category, and there each country needs to nominate one movie, so everything else is already out. That already doesn't work. And yeah, it's just too unknown, or like I said, like independent movies, not well known. The Academy doesn't care. I'm not sure how it works in Japan. I guess is a similar situation where all the members of the Academy can like vote. And yeah, we heard it a couple of times over the years where people for the Oscars voted for movies that they haven't seen because they felt like, oh, that's the important movie that should be nominated now. And I just don't think that enough people care, or they want to push something. Sometimes they obviously have an agenda or a plan for the show. For example, I'm very, very sure that Sakura Ando won last year so they can make herself announce her own win. Yeah, so there was obviously some kind of a plan going on there. So I guess that was part of the show. So I don't think it's all that about actually awarding the best movies or those that are worth getting an award, or that were in any way exceptional, because if you look at the movies that were nominated, as much as I like something like Kingdom, I don't think it's an exceptional movie, and I've seen some exceptional movies this year from Japan, and that wasn't one of them. If I look at my very badly done best of 2024 list, let's see on which place a Kingdom is. It's not that high. Oh, here it's on 33. So I've watched 33 movies where I feel like, okay, those were better than Kingdom. Kingdom is one of the most nominated movies in the show. So, yeah, I've seen much more that I liked much more. Or, yeah, so that's not really the point. They want something to grab a big audience and where people are like, yeah, I like this one. And of course, I guess the producers and stuff, there's a lot of politicking going on. So it's not about actually awarding the best movies. So for me, it's just like if movies that I like get nominated or awarded, I'm happy, because at least I feel like a movie that kind of deserves an award. I feel like if you have to choose from like big blockbuster movies, Kingdom is well worth awarding, much more than I feel like was Godzilla -1. And so then I'm just happy that a movie that I liked gets some award. And that's good enough for me. Of course, I could be like, yeah, but what about this, and this? Misses the point for my feeling. I mean, I'm already happy that Look Back, which was in my top 3 of the year, is awarded for the best animated movie, so that's already pretty good. Some things that I actually think are strange is that, for example, Evil Does Not Exist isn't nominated for anything. Like, I thought Hamaguchi's reputation is good enough that he at least would, I don't know, maybe get a nomination for best script or some actor, or at least like one thing, best directing, whatever, would have been an option. Or I think, for example, a Boxman could have been in production design or something. Really strange. I mean, I don't know how I don't think Boxman was a super big movie here, even though it's wonderful, and I really should watch it again. I had a lot of fun with it, and yeah, let's see. But there would be something where I feel, okay, why not that one? Production design, Toshihiro Izumi, Emiko Tsuyuki for Golden Kamuy. Yeah, definitely, sure, why not? We have Masazumi Okihara for 11 Rebels, which is nice that it gets some nominations here in the technical stuff as well, because I think, it did very well in that regard, so why not? Now, if Hidetaka Ozawa for Kingdom, sure, why not? Like, technical stuff, it's not wrong to put it in there. We have Shintaro Matsumoto for Faceless, and we have Masumi Miura for the Cells at Work, and Cells at Work, I think Cells at Work is very well deserved in the technical stuff as well, so, yeah. Now we have Best Sound Recording. We have Tomoharu Urata for 11 Rebels. We have Takashi Kanasugi for Cells at Work. We have Hiroyuki Saijo for Last Mile. We have Kazushiko Yukono for Kingdom. And Toru Yonezawa and Yosuke Hamada for Faceless. I think it's funny that all these technical aspects are all like basically the same movies, more or less, like maybe one switched out. Like if Samurai in Time suffered too much from its budget, suddenly there's 11 Rebels in there. But that's a bit funny. It's basically all the same movies here. Last one we have here. But I think what I think is the strangest point about this whole thing is that they chose Kiyoshi Kurosawa's Cloud to be the candidate for the Best International Movie category or Best Foreign Language Movie category at the Oscars, and none of the Kiyoshi Kurosawa movies got any nominations here. I think that's really, really strange, because I don't know, to me it feels like you don't even trust your own candidate. I mean, in the end, it didn't get nominated by the Academy, but still, I would feel like if you choose that one to be the representative movie for Japan, maybe you should give it some kind of award too, or it's just strange. That doesn't make sense to me. Weird. And one more thing I just wanted to mention while we're talking about the Academy Awards. I was looking for Japanese movies and I couldn't find any, but Black Box Diaries is nominated as Best Documentary Feature, and I haven't seen it yet, but it seems to be very good. It's about this whole Me Too movement in Japan, where I think she's a journalist, and she had some very, very unpleasant experiences with I think he was Abe's Abe's biographer, and she was drunk and he took her to a hotel and did some things with her that she didn't want. So about all this case and what happened there, they made a documentary, and that's seemingly nominated for Best Documentary Feature, and that's very nice. That's very good. So cool. I've got to watch that. One more thing here about the things that I think are strange is, I think I mentioned it before, that Yumi Kawai got nominated for Girl Named Anne. This time I got it right. Instead of Desert of Namibia. It's a really strange thing, because Desert of Namibia was a really big independent movie as far as I noticed. While A Girl Named Anne was surely successful, but I'm not sure. At least from social media, I felt like Desert of Namibia is the bigger movie, but I might be wrong. Anyway, I think that's an odd choice. I mean, A Girl Named Anne, especially her performance, is totally fine to be nominated, but it's a funny choice that they took that one instead of Desert of Namibia, because anyway, so I could give movies that I feel like are more deserving for most categories. I've got some other problems. For example, Best Acting. I don't know if I can actually tell you what good acting is. I can tell you if I like the performance, or I can tell you if I like the role or whatever, but I'm not sure if I'm qualified to say what good acting is. I can say, okay, this convinced me that this character was real, but there are probably so many nuances to acting that I don't notice, and I wouldn't be able to describe why it's good or bad. It's the same with everything where people, in this case, would say, oh, that's an actor's actor, like someone who is totally amazing, but only like other actors notice it because this person does things that maybe other actors don't do. It's a fascinating thing, like same with musicians. Some musicians are just praised by other musicians because the general audience doesn't really get why it's good, and that's a problem here. The same goes for technical stuff. I don't know if the sound recording was better in Evil Does Not Exist or The Boxman. I have no idea. I can say that I liked sound design or just the sound in general, but I don't really know what makes it good. So I can probably, if something is outstanding, I can probably say, oh, this was something I really liked. But same here, it might be so subtle that I have no idea that it's actually even happening. So editing is the same. There might be, like I described, The Brightest Roof, whatever, by Mr. Fuji, where an edit is so odd and weird that it stands out as bad. The same goes for good editing. I might be able to tell you where I feel like, hey, this is really good editing, but only for things that really stand out. If you have a very subtle, perfect editing choice, I probably don't notice because I'm not an editor, and I'm like, in that case, I probably don't notice because it's just well done and has a certain effect that I will feel. But so I'm especially the technical categories, I feel like I'm not the right person to say, oh, but this was better than Kingdom. I'm sure Kingdom had amazing sound recording, and I can point out some things, but I don't feel confident enough in these aspects to really criticize their choices. So I feel like if there's a big blockbuster movie that looks and sounds good, I always feel these technical categories will be fine. They probably deserve getting those. Editing, we have Hiroaki Itabe for Last Mile, again, of course. We have Tsuyoshi Imai for Kingdom, of course. We have Tatsuma Furukawa for Faceless. We have Hiroshi Matsuo for Cells at Work. And we have Junichi Yasuda for Samurai Time Sleeper, Samurai in Time. It's all the same. So there's some movies that got so many nominations that could just turn out to be the big winner of the night, or it just gets spread out. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised like if Kingdom gets some and Faceless gets some and Samurai in Time gets some. So just spread it out a little bit. Why not? We don't always need one movie that gets them all. But my favorite category is left. We have the best foreign movie. What is it called? I forgot the English title before I knew it, so I didn't really check. Completely blank here. We have at least the Oppenheimer Zone of Interest, Civil War, and movie that's called La Pata Ladies, so an Indian movie. So they usually have like an Indian movie in there, and I can't remember this last title. What's the actress's name? Poor Things. Yeah. And then we have the... Yeah, with the acting, I feel a little bit more confident because I can explain better if a performance convinced me or not. Like, for example, what movie was it? There was one movie that I recently watched where one actor felt completely out of place and acted in a way that felt like he's in a completely different movie, and it felt really odd, but I can't come up with the title of that movie. A very strange thing about... what was it? About corrupt policemen. What did I watch about corrupt policemen? Let me check. Oh, here, it was a movie with Takayoshi Oka, who was in The Brightest Roof in the Universe as well. Oh, it was Winnie. Wonderful Winnie. Yeah, that's a case where I can point at someone and say, oh, that acting was at least strange and didn't really fit the movie. So that's something I feel confident enough to explain or criticize, and or if someone is just bad and unconvincing. I don't know, for example, Kana Hashimoto in any role. It's like, okay, that's not very good, but if we're talking about the best performances of the year, yeah, who am I to choose whether or not, I don't know, let's say Yumi Kawai in Desert of Namibia, or Yumi Kawai in a girl called Named Anne was better. I don't know, maybe she did something super special in A Girl Named Anne that I didn't notice, or maybe it was just the big melodrama that got the people, but yeah, so I'm always like, that's a difficult thing for me to criticize, because sometimes I watch videos about acting and they point out things that I would never notice. Yeah, they talk about stuff that I have no idea even exists or happens or whatever. So, yeah, that's the same if I would, I don't know, I know a little bit about guitar playing. So sometimes I would talk to people about playing guitar in a way that they don't understand. I explain why a guitar player is great, and they're like, oh, but that sounds strange to me. I don't like this music. I prefer Ed Sheeran. Like, yeah, cool. And yeah, so in the same way I feel about acting. Some actors talk about real like acting and what they do to do that, how they prepare and stuff. Like, oh, okay, cool. So yeah. That's so for me it's similar. Like for awards, if there are performances nominated that I really enjoyed, I'm happy, and I feel like, okay, yeah, that makes sense to nominate this person. Feels right to me, but yeah, for example here, Mr. Samurai in Time, Nodimasa Fuke, I would give him an award immediately because he's just so crazy good in this movie and deserves an award. But yeah, so anyway, I'm just rambling around here, and I should go to bed instead of that. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about these things a little bit to distract from me just naming the same movies over and over again because they all got nominated over and over again, and I thought in between it would be nice to talk about something different for a bit, and maybe my relationship to awards. I really don't care that much about awards. I'm happy if good stuff gets awards. I'm mildly annoyed if bad stuff gets awards, and for the most time I just don't really care. In this case, the Japanese Academy Awards are fun for me because I've actually seen most of the movies, and it's a little bit closer to my little heart than the Academy Awards in the US, and it entertains me very much how they treat the whole world, including Hollywood, like Hollywood treats the rest of the world. It's cute. Like, there's a category best foreign language movie, and American movies have to go in there and don't get into the best movie category. That's very refreshing every year. I like that. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the show. Newcomer Awards, I think, if I remember correctly, that's a prize that all of them get. It's not exactly separated. We have Asuka Saito for Oshinoko, the final act. We have Nagisa Shibuya for Ano Ko wa Dare, so who's that? Which is some kind of horror movie. I just remember the trailer. And in Japanese trailers, very often you have the actors talking a bit to the audience, and basically they introduce themselves and say, hey, this is the greatest whatever romance movie or horror movie or whatever, and then they say all together the title. And I just remember that this movie that's basically called Who's That? The people in the cinema are like, who are these people on the screen? I don't know you. So at least one of them got a nomination for, got a prize for Best Newcomer. Then we have Anna Yamada for Golden Kamui and Showtime. And we have Eiji Akaso for, what is it, like 6 Lying Students or something. I forgot to check the title. It's Rokunin no Usotsuki na Daigakusei. So, something about 6 Lying Students. And then there's Moshimo Tokugawa Ieyasu ga Sori Daiji ni nattara. So if why am I talking about Oda Nobunaga? Tokugawa Ieyasu. Moshimo Tokugawa Ieyasu ga Sori Daiji ni nattara. So if Tokugawa Ieyasu became the prime minister, so I think it's like a time travel thing where Ieyasu comes into modern Japan and becomes the prime minister or something like that. We have Rihito Itagaki for Hakkenden Hataraku Saibo and Onmyoji Zero. I haven't seen Hakkenden. The other two are very fun. Then we have Keitatsu Koshiyama for Boku no Ohisama, so My Sunshine. I think it was a very, very nice, not nice, but very good movie. We have Jun Saito for Karaokiko, and we have Shintaro Morimoto for Faceless again. And then we have some special prizes that I won't mention anymore. Anyway, it seems to me like a show that might be interesting because, I can't really tell who will get all the prizes, who will get it all, who knows. Because it's relatively evenly spread out between a few movies. Like Kingdom, Samurai Time Slipper, Faceless, All the Long Nights, Last Mile. They could get a lot. I think the only one that's relatively clear is the animated movie, because it must be Look Back. Even though the others made more money, but that must be Look Back. But everything else, I can see most of the movies winning. So there are relatively few where I feel like, that has no chance. That's just there to fill the gap. But totally possible. So let's see. It's gonna be exciting. The whole event will be in March, on the 14th, if I see that here correctly. And yeah, it will be on TV and stuff, so I will hopefully watch it. But even though if I won't watch it there, it will be on TiVo for some time. So yeah, I will eventually watch it and tell you who won if you don't follow this. But yeah, it's gonna be exciting, interesting, very fun, very nice. So thank you very much for watching, and if you have any predictions, feel free to comment. But yeah, see you, bye.